Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we want to work on a very quick technique in Photoshop, adding snowflakes to images or renders. Aside from the techniques that involve creating snowflakes, such as using a brush, I want to teach you now a technique that doesn't require actually a brush, and instead we use noise. For example, I have an image. The first step to add a new layer by pressing Shift, Ctrl, Alt, and N, or clicking on Create a New Layer from the bottom. Once the new layer is added, you can choose a color such as black from the color section, and press Alt and Backspace to fill the selected layer with that color. And then go to the filter and select noise, and then add noise. This will add some noise to the layer. One important note about noise is that the monochromatic option. You have to enable the monochromatic option, so make sure to turn on the monochromatic and avoid to use color in your noise. At this stage, we can change the layer blend mode from normal to screen to see the original image below. However, the intensity of the snowflakes might be too high, so to reduce it, I add an adjustment curve to the layer, and I lock it to the snow layer. So I hold down the Alt key and click between the two layers to make it a clipping mask. So now it's easy to adjust the intensity of the snowflakes. I can lower this part and the other part higher and give a contrast to the work, and you see the effect of the curves on the grains. Now I can increase or decrease intensity to achieve the desired result. So I do it again, and okay. I'll hold on this for now until I finish the next step. So okay, now let's go to the blur and motion blur part. First, I want to give a motion effect to these grains. Well, I will apply motion blur. My layer comes up from this part. We need to go to the layer 1. Now I have to give a motion effect to the snowflakes. So I go to the layer 1, and from the filter blur and motion blur section, okay, you see the grains here, but the intensity is too high and the grains are hardly visible. I reduce intensity a bit. I set it to 3 and click OK. You see now the grains have completely motion effect. This is before and the process. And so, if you want grains to show a little more of themselves, you have a few options. You can open the curve option from this section, work with the harsh on the graph to see the grains better. And so if you want all the grains not to be about the same size, or to be uniform in size, and so you want them to be smaller or larger, my suggestion is to select these two layers and press Ctrl J. Ctrl J will copy the layers. Now I select layer 1, press Ctrl T and enlarge it. Now I hold Alt to make it bigger from both sides, and now if I zoom in, you see that it has large grains here, and enter. Well, now the intensity is still too high. Another thing I want to teach you here is that to make the grains have a random effect, you can add a mask to the layer 1, so which is a copy that has a lower noise level. When the mask is selected, there's a filter part called render and cloud. Well, it adds the cloud effect you see now the intensity has decreased significantly. Now if I turn off this layer, you will see that they are random. And if you want to do it more, you can press again Ctrl and M, or hold Alt and click on mask itself. Now it shows my mask layer. Now from image section, adjustment and curves, I do some adjustments. So if the contrast is increased, it will also delete more in proportion and keep less. Okay, well, I'm going to hit again Alt again from this section, hold down Alt and click on the layer mask area, and now it only shows us this layer. You can click here again to bring up my original layer. Now if you want, it can also do the same for this one. So we can mask it and apply a render and cloud effect to reduce the intensity of the work. I'm going to add another layer as the third layer. Again, I press Ctrl J and then Ctrl T, enlarge the layer to make it the largest layer of mine. Okay, well, now let's apply the transform mode. We have to wait. Alright, okay. Now this is my largest layer. I had the other layers to see the layer clearly. Well, I go to the filter, blue and the Gaussian blur. It will make them softer. You can see the grains are now softer. And the ones that are closer to the camera have a softer blue. Well, then I hit OK. Now it has become much softer than the lower layer. So you can have the combination of these together. So one mode can be sharper, smaller, and the other one can be larger and use the blur to make it softer. Okay, so now you have this layer. I can turn on the lower layer and the base layer of my work. In fact, now you can see the before and after of your work. Okay, now if you create them once, you can use them the same way for your renders or other images. You can also move them and throw them on the other layers or works. With this technique, you can create these snowflakes on the layers. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial, and please subscribe my channel, and until the next tutorial.